Is Twitch in danger of shutting down? I'll watch this. Uh-oh.
Twitch is really going through it right now.
Yeah?
They are struggling through a hard time internally.
Uh-oh.
I'm not talking about falling off or anything. They haven't lost their spot at the top of the food chain
Not
when
yet.
it comes to streaming. But internally, it's pure chaos and pandemonium. They've been treading water when it comes to their financials, and it's been getting really bad.
I wouldn't say they're treading water. I would say that they are just tactically drowning. It's just Amazon is like giving them oxygen every year. Yeah, they're still drowning though.
They just had to announce that they're stopping the Twitch service in South Korea because it's just prohibitively expensive.
Which, by the way, my understanding about this, I've talked to people in Korea about this, and I've looked into it. Basically, it's because there's like a racket going on there. It seems like, I remember there was this Korean girl that was telling me about it, and I said, oh, it sounds a lot like what our government does. Yeah, and she's like, yeah, it's a country problem. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with Twitch. It's not a shortcoming of Twitch. Basically, Korea made pricing prohibitively expensive to benefit a Korean streaming service instead of an American one. That's what happened.
Also had the huge round of layoffs last year that you might remember. Twitch is just generating about as much money as CryptoZoo. $0. In fact, less than $0. It's negative money.
Yeah.
Negative clams are being generated by Twitch, and it seems to just keep getting worse. They just had to announce another wave of layoffs at Twitch with 500 employees losing their jobs.
That's a lot.
35%.
Yeah, 35%. Like, the percentage is what really matters, right? For example, whenever Meta laid off 11,000 people, that was 11% of their workforce or something like that. But this is 35%. But I think also keep in mind that, like, South Korea is a huge digital consumer. They're a tremendous digital consumer. And guess what? I bet there's a lot of people there that had jobs at Twitch that were working and dealing with South Korea. And so whenever you can't deal with South Korea anymore, well, then you don't need those people. There it is. And also, losing South Korea, in my opinion, was not Twitch's fault at all.
Twitch workforce
from everything
was
that
being
I understand,
laid off, as confirmed by Dan Clancy. And today, Dan Clancy actually did a stream just being fully transparent, going over a lot of things, such as the layoffs, as well as just Twitch not really making money. Again, that's not a secret. We all knew that. That's about as much of a secret as me being short. Like, everyone knows by just taking a look at Twitch and what's been going on. It definitely fucking sucks how many people just lost their jobs in this most recent wave here. And it's even more unfortunate that it's not exclusive to just Twitch here. This has become extremely common in the tech industry. Because
Discord did layoffs recently. Twitter did... There's more people that got fired from Twitter than people that work there, okay? And so, yeah, this is extremely common.
Many companies like Twitch started overhiring and went through this period of overgrowth, especially during COVID.
Yeah.
And now all at once they're starting to downsize and lay off a ton of people like what they just did. And that's something Dan also talks about.
That we've implied this before, where we say we need to run it sustainably, but, you know, I'll be blunt. We aren't profitable at this point. Amazon has been extremely supportive of Twitch.
That's money.
A big thing for being sustainable over time is ensuring that we don't lose money.
We don't have people working at the company that ain't doing shit, so we got rid of them. Yeah, we get it. For sure.
And that's a big part of my job because that's going to be what makes sure we can be here for long term.
This is the CEO of Twitch who is just speaking openly and honestly about...
Which, by the way, like, isn't it crazy that he just goes on and he just says this shit? He's like, yeah, so, like, we're not making any money. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do, right? I mean, like, we're trying to figure it out, like, same as you are. Like, yeah, I don't know. You know, I had to fire a bunch of people, which sucks, but, like, I mean, shit, you know, it is what it is. Like, yeah, I love it.
What's going on, which is really refreshing, especially given the last CEO who didn't even know that he ran Twitch. Again, this isn't a shocking revelation. I don't think anyone heard this and flew back in their chair and slapped their knee like, well, golly, Twitch not being profitable, never saw that coming. This is the worst kept secret since Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker's father, right?
To be honest, if somebody had told me Twitch was profitable, I would have believed it. And, like, I wouldn't immediately say it's not true. And the reason why is because YouTube for a long time wasn't profitable until, like, I don't know, it was like 2014 or maybe 16 or something like that, whenever YouTube actually started creating profit. So maybe Twitch became profitable, especially with the amount of ads that they added in, but I guess still they're not. I mean, dropping how many people? 500 people? That's a lot of fucking money. Like, that is a tremendous amount of money. Like, if you're thinking like $100,000 for each person, because keep in mind, some are probably being paid more than that. And then there's also the infrastructure to support that person, which is like, taxes, liability, insurance, fucking social security, having building space for them, having staff to support them. Like, you're talking about basically $100,000 a person, right? Somewhere around there. And especially for benefits. Oh yeah. This is a $50 million reduction. Devin Nash video is really good. He explains how Kick runs with less than 50 people and did 90% of what Twitch did with 2% of its workforce. Well, I mean, I can write Moby Dick in 1 minute. All I have to do is press Control-C and then Control-V. So I think that's very understandable. I could believe that.
Everyone knew it wasn't making money, and Dan is now just finally saying that out loud and then going over how he plans to fix that. Before going too deep into this subject I want to talk about, I just want to give a round of applause to Dan here. He really does seem like he cares.
He does.
He's constantly streaming on Twitch and interacting with the community. Like, he plays games with other streamers all the time. When the announcement came with the layoffs, he wanted to go live and just directly answer questions about it and talk transparently about it. So honestly, it's appreciated that he'll do something like this. Now, he does say something that I had to raise my eyebrow at, and if this was an NFL game and I was a coach, I'd probably be throwing a challenge flag on the play.
This?
He says that Amazon has been super supportive of Twitch, and to that I have to say, are you sure? This is maybe some kind of hostage situation? Is Jeff Bezos just off camera with a baseball bat with nails through it, threatening you to say things like that? One of the major criticisms a lot of people, myself included, have stated is that Amazon seems really hands-off with Twitch as a product.
That's a good decision for Amazon, I think. I think Amazon is taking the Microsoft approach that Microsoft takes with a lot of their game studios. They say, we're buying you, you're going to make us money. And maybe you're not making us money right now, but you're going to make us money. We're not buying you for us to tell you what to do. We're buying you to make money off of your work. That's it. And so I think that's what Amazon looks at it for as well. They don't want to have to micromanage Twitch or tell them what to do. You've got to think about, like, Twitch is it's like a $2 billion business, right? I think that's how much money Twitch is worth now, maybe $2 to $4 billion. How much money is Amazon worth? Let's look it up right now. Amazon net worth. Okay, so we're looking at the number $1,588,000,000,000. So basically, if you were to take, okay, so let's go ahead and let's take, we're not going to do the whole number. Okay, and then we're going to subtract, let's do a very generous valuation of $4 billion that Amazon is, that Twitch is worth. It's the same number. Yeah, it pretty much is the same number, right? It's the same number. So that's why Amazon doesn't really give a fuck, because Amazon they basically own a massive, they own a huge part of culture for fucking nothing. Twitch is a huge cultural driver. They own it completely. They have a monopoly over live streaming because nobody else gives a fuck about it. And they're doing it for like 4? They have over 1,000 and they have to do this for 4? What is this? It's not even a question. Of course Amazon's totally fine with it. Why wouldn't they be fine with it? Amazon's also completely fine with Kick. Because think about it. Amazon has to pay Twitch whenever Twitch doesn't make money. Amazon doesn't have to pay whenever Kick doesn't have to make money. Stake does. Amazon probably likes Kick more than Twitch because Kick just gives them money for AWS, whereas Twitch needs money too.
Entire time it's owned it. It hasn't really done too
Kick
much to
uses
try and
AWS,
elevate it, improve
Think about it.
fix things when things are broken, or really much of anything at all. I think the major contribution that the public can point to when it comes to Twitch and Amazon working together is Amazon offering the Twitch Prime subs, which is a huge component to Twitch, of course. It is a...
So didn't Dan Clancy say how much money was given out to Twitch streamers over the last year? He said it was like, what, $1.8 billion? Was that correct? I could be wrong about the number, but it was somewhere around like $1 to $3 billion that was paid out to content creators. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so let's assume that 60%, we're going to be a very, very aggressive number for this, but we're going to say 60% of all content creator revenue was Twitch Prime. Okay, so 60% of 1.8. Okay, that is about right? $1 billion. So it's costing Twitch at most $1 billion. And that is, of course, not factoring in any value added perceived by the user or the purchaser of Amazon Prime. It is, again, pretty much the same number.
Very big deal. But aside from that, there haven't been too many things that Amazon has done for Twitch, at least in what I've seen and what most people have seen. But with the way Dan talks about it throughout this stream...
And also another factor as well is that it's actually not one, because the amount of money that they're paying out, half of it doesn't necessarily go to Twitch in the first place because there isn't a $5 transaction that occurs. So they're actually paying out half of that. And then the part of it that they're paying out as well also isn't subject to service fees because they're paying it out directly through the company. So it's actually even cheaper than that is.
It does seem like Amazon might be significantly more supportive behind closed doors than any of us could possibly ever know.
And if they should be, it's incredibly intelligent to do that. Like, it's a huge, great pickup for Amazon to have Twitch. It gives them such a massive market, and they're paying effectively nothing for it.
But I did just want to say, like, hearing him really sing the praises of Amazon as a partner was a little surprising for sure.
Oh, I don't think so at
all.
all.
How little we see with Amazon interacting with Twitch. And speaking of Twitch Primes, I'm going to have to take a little victory lap here and say I told you so. For about 2 years now, I've speculated that Twitch Primes might vanish, at least in their current format. For those
They already have, actually. So this was back in about 2018 or 2019. Before that time period, a Twitch Prime subscription to a stream would make it to where you couldn't see ads. Then Twitch changed it to where now, if you have a Twitch Prime subscription, you still see ads. So Prime subscribers see ads. Tier 1 subscribers, like $4.99, or Tier 2 or Tier 3, obviously, do not see ads. So this actually was already changed before in the past.
Don't know. Twitch Prime is a service offered on the platform where you can sub to a streamer completely for free as long as you have your Prime sub available, and that streamer gets $5 from Twitch. Well, $2.50 from Twitch.
Exactly, $2.50. Where does the other $2.50 go? Probably nowhere. Twitch probably doesn't even get the money for that. And that's what I'm saying before. That's how cheap it is for Amazon. Like, it is a massive, massive cheap thing for them. And also, it's a huge value add. Because, like, so think about it like this. How much is Amazon Prime a month? It's like $15, right? It's per year. Yeah, I think it's about $15 a year. Yeah, $15 a month, but like, yeah, something like that. So if it's $15, do you think people would subscribe to Amazon Prime and get all of the advantages to it if they are Twitch users so they can get Twitch Prime? I bet they do. Because if they weren't, Twitch Prime probably wouldn't exist.
For free. All you do is take your Twitch Prime and use it on a streamer. $0 to you, and that streamer gets money from Twitch. I believe that they're just praying, fingers crossed, every day that you forget to use your Prime sub, because when you remember to, you're just costing the company money.
The majority of the time, I bet a lot of people just sit on their Prime sub. Yeah, I bet they do.
said for 2 years since the holes in the ship started to show that's probably going to be one of the major things that they change. If they don't outright get rid of it, they're going to do some kind of drastic overhaul and change the way it currently is, because that is something that is not sustainable to a business that already isn't profitable.
I think it's extremely sustainable if you factor in the ecosystem that it exists in. Like, it doesn't exist in like the narrow band of Twitch making money or Twitch not making money, but it does exist in creating an ecosystem that gets people to use Amazon Prime. And Amazon Prime probably doesn't make Amazon a whole lot of money either, but Amazon Prime is like it's like a value investment for a user that induces the user to use Amazon services. And then you start making money. And so, like, what you have to look at it is that there's like a web of services and fees and things that you can buy on Amazon, and Twitch Prime gets you on that web. Amazon Prime gets you on that web. And if you have Amazon Prime, and then now you're using Twitch Prime, now there's two places where you're attached to the web. And now they're making money off of you all the time. And also, Amazon is selling the numbers from Twitch. Amazon has a massive marketing vehicle that they can immediately use whenever they want, if they want to sell a product or sell a service that they have total autonomy over. They own it completely. And so if they want to do a show, Amazon wants to do a show, they can just do a show. Amazon wants to do watch parties, they just do it because they own the licensing for it. Like, Amazon having Twitch Prime and Amazon being invested in Twitch it makes so much sense whenever you think about it outside of the context of, is Twitch making money? It's the same thing as like with Kick. Kick isn't making any fucking money, but there's like a turnover of people that use Kick and then go and gamble on stake. And then if you look at it again holistically, Kick is massively profitable. But you don't see it in a direct one-to-one. It's like a 1-to-1 to 2 to 3, and then it's like 3 lines of logic down. Then you start to see the money happen. They're not stupid. Like, the guys that are working at Amazon are not fucking stupid. They wouldn't be doing this if it was just losing them money. And that's not even counting, again, what I was talking about earlier, the value that you get out of just simply having the biggest live streaming service under your control. Like, you have a certain degree of like cultural control that, I mean, fuck, look at how expensive Twitter is. Look at how expensive Facebook is. These social media networks are worth billions of dollars. Yeah, they effectively own esports. It's nuts. Amazon makes money, not from Twitch directly, but thanks to Twitch. Yes, Twitch helps Amazon make money, and Amazon helps Twitch make money.
Dan Clancy talks about that.
Prime is a critical program for many streamers. We've already been looking across the company in terms of how to set us up for the long term. I think we will continue to evolve different aspects of our program, because part of what I'm trying to do is get us into a framework that can live.
If I was Dan, I'd cut 70-30 for primes. That's what I'd do. That'd be the first thing I would do.
Long time.
If they had
the size
to.
of the company is one of those things that gets us to the right size.
And also, like, you have to keep in mind, is the goal of the website to be profitable? Maybe not. Who said that the goal of the website has to be profitable? It's a business? No. Well, it's a business that's part of a larger business. So I think that obviously they want to make money with Twitch for sure. But I don't think that they're going to do something that would dramatically hurt Twitch in terms of its market share on the live streaming demographic. I don't think that they will do something like that in order to make $600 million more dollars. Because again, it's just not that big of a deal, is it? Subsidiary businesses don't have to directly profit themselves. They drive profit for the parent company, and that's perfectly fine. Exactly. Yeah, it's a subsidiary business. You're totally right. Yes, it drives profit for Amazon. Does that make it a loss leader? Is Twitch a loss leader? Yes.
A longer period of time. When we did Partner Plus, we structured that so that we could continue to move that threshold.
Oh, yeah, and somebody else brings up a really great point. Amazon's probably writing the money that they lose off their taxes. I mean, bro, like the guys that are running this shit, like Jeff Bezos, like that dude's not stupid. Like, I don't think he runs Amazon anymore, right? But like, whenever he's not fucking stupid. There's a reason for that. It's all business. Yep.
And when we did Partner Plus, we structured that so that we could continue to move that threshold. We're going to keep looking across our strategy with streamers. We did this with the Ads Incentive Program. We want to get to where we can continue to grow and adapt and change as the market changes. And so there may be other changes, but I will tell you Prime is an important part for our viewers and our creators. So it's important for us to make sure Prime still exists in some way.
It's not a direct answer to the question of if the free benefit...
It makes me 50% sure that Prime will continue to exist in the way that it does. Yeah, I mean, because he's got it. He can't go out and say it's going to stay the same because of his position. It would make him look bad. So, like, I really... Yeah, it's like I don't think this really says a whole lot at all. He's preparing people for Prime changes. Well, if I was him, I would say that even if I was sure that Prime wasn't going to change, because in the instance of in the future, like let's say Prime changes in 3 years, people are going to go back to this clip and get mad at him for it. So it's like if he at any point says it, people will look at it. It doesn't matter if it's contemporary or not. They'll still look at it and get mad at him. So he's smart for adding in that qualifier.
To Twitch Primes is disappearing, but I think it's pretty clear with the way he answers it and tiptoes around it, beats around the bush a little bit, that he recognizes the severity of having to change that, but knows that he needs to change it. So the way that he He talks around the subject makes it clear that there is change coming. As he's talking about needing to come up with new strategies and everything, I think we can all say with a high level of confidence that the free benefit to the Twitch Primes is going to be an ancient relic of the forgotten past. In 50 years, you'll tell your grandkids there used to be a way to sub to your favorite streamer for free. And
it was only $5. Then your kids would be like, what? It's $495 now to subscribe to Ninja. What? Or to AI Ninja. Yeah, what do you mean it was only $5? Like my dad was doing the thing yesterday. He was talking, it was yesterday, maybe the day before. He was talking about, like, back in the day, my dad used to wait to get, and I remember this, right? Because we would he'd take me to Dairy Queen, and we'd get a banana split, and we'd eat it together at Dairy Queen, and he would wait until they had coupons in the newspaper that were $1. $1 banana splits. Now it's like 7 or 8.
Call you crazy and tell you to take your medicine and go back to Arkham Asylum, you old geezer.
Yeah.
But that's the way the cookie crumbles, it seems.
He's telling me he got him for
this
10
is a big
cents.
I told you so moment for me because like I said, I was beating the drum saying, hey, Twitch Primes probably aren't going to last forever. Hey, like a doomsday prepper kind of thing.
Naturally.
And it looks like that day is coming up sooner than I thought it would, to be honest. But we still don't know exactly what's going to change about it. If I had to look into my crystal ball and take another guess, I would say they're going to keep the Prime program around, but a diet version of it, a bootleg, watered-down version of the Twitch Prime service that we know and love currently. I think that it'll probably end up being more of like a discount code situation where if you have a Prime available, once a month you can sub to your favorite streamer for half off. So instead of costing you $5...
You know what they could also do? They could just make it harder to use it. That's what I'd probably do if I was Twitch. I'd just make it harder to use. I'd make it to where you had to go to the Amazon website and you had to use the Amazon website in order to use your Twitch Prime on a Twitch stream. And so you just bury it. And then, like, that's so scummy. I didn't say it wasn't, if it was scummy or not. I said it would work. I know for a fact this would work. It would 100% work. So you just have to put it somewhere. It's hard to find. It's like, here's what they need to do. Just hire the people that designed Square Enix's old website for Final Fantasy XIV. Just hire those people to figure out how to implement Twitch Prime. And they'll make sure nobody ever uses it.
To sub to your favorite streamer, it'll cost you $250. And then they get the $250.
Just make it so you have to do it on your Amazon account.
I think that's probably how it'll work. So it'll no longer be free, but it'll be a discount on a sub.
Yeah.
So like 50% or maybe even less. I really have no
It also
idea.
gets them to go to the
But
Amazon
that's kind of
website.
how I envision this going in the future. They're not going to outright get rid of it, I don't think. It'll likely be in that manner. So
I mean,
we'll
I have
see.
to say, like, I actually really like that idea. I should tell Dan to do that. You know, I'll be like, yeah. So just put it on like another page in like your Amazon account info details, and you have to type out the name and like, oh, make it case sensitive. So if you don't capitalize the right letter, it doesn't work. And then eventually they'll get annoyed and they won't do it. Yeah, put a captcha on it. Yeah, just get to where people can't use it. And then the problem's totally fucking re-enter your password. Oh, it's a 2-factor authentication. You gotta check your email. Oh, fuck, I'm just gonna pay the $5 at this point. And so they don't even have to get rid of Twitch Prime. Just make it harder to use.
We'll see if I go 2 for 2 on the Twitch Prime.
Practices are called dark
boogeyman
patterns and
predictions
illegal in
here.
EU.
But anyway, Dan,
The practices are not called dark patterns. Dark patterns are whenever your selection mouse, your mouse selector, or your selector on a console with a controller is automatically attached or linked to certain buttons. That's what a dark pattern is. It's not. Making something hard to use is not a dark pattern. That's just fucking annoying.
Clancy also just directly answered a question a viewer asked about, is Twitch at risk of just getting the axe from Amazon? And he said emphatically no, and that Amazon is very much in this race. They are heavily invested
Of course
in
they
this.
are. They should
and
be.
there's no chance, really, that Twitch just crumbles and goes under or anything at the moment.
Yeah.
They're going through this turbulent period internally, but he is optimistic that things will look up in the future for it, and he has some ideas on where to take things, and, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But it really was an insightful live stream. Again, I haven't really seen a CEO be this transparent.
Oh, we have Elon Musk with Twitter. He likes to talk about that a whole lot. Oh, he loves to talk about that. Jesus.
Expected he'd only be answering heavily curated comments, but he doesn't just answer only softballs. There were a couple he answered that I thought for sure he would avoid and shy away from.
Yeah.
Such as, is it true some of the employees that were laid off found out they no longer had a job through social media as opposed to through...
They have to do that, and the reason why they do that is because of insider trading. This is the same reason why Blizzard does it, is because the employees share the information early, and they do it to, like, short stock. That's why it happens.
You guys. But he actually did answer it. That and a couple other questions that I thought for
Yeah,
sure
protect from liability.
would
Yeah,
not
it's a
be
very
addressed
boring
at all.
answer.
So overall, I do think that was a pretty cool gesture from him, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see how things start to pan out for Twitch going forward. While I don't think Twitch is in any danger of being buried 6 feet under immediately, as I've said, I am skeptical that Twitch will be around in a decade. With the direction things have been going, it makes me concerned about the future of Twitch, at least in the capacity that it's currently at. Where other streaming services are growing, Twitch seems to be kind of staying in the same place and then going through more internal struggle. So
I think that Twitch just holding their ground is very good. I mean, you have a lot of social media platforms and social media places that have been maturing or even contracting in their size. And why is that? Why does that happen? Well, it's because everybody that wants to be on Twitter is already on Twitter. Everybody that wants to be on Facebook is already on Facebook. So I think that Twitch just holding their ground is great. Like, I think they're doing fine.
It makes it seem far more dire as an outsider looking in, but Dan seems to believe that Twitch's best years are ahead of them as opposed to behind them, so perhaps they have like a really good strategy going forward. But yeah, just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. So,
Yep.
yeah.
There it is. And so I agree with a lot of what he's saying. I mean, for fucking sure, I don't think that Twitch needs to be profitable. Twitch only needs to exist in an ecosystem that is beneficial for Amazon. Being profitable is a best case scenario. Again, Amazon is worth $1.5 trillion. Okay? It's worth more than most countries are. Actually, I don't know about most, but a lot of countries are at least. It's worth a lot of fucking money. I think, yeah, 1.588 or something like that billion dollars. So, or sorry, $1 trillion. Trillion. And that's 1,000 billions, which is 1,000 millions. Think about how big that is. That's insane. And so guess what? Twitch doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things with Amazon. They don't really make a big difference. And Amazon's investment into having that hold on the culture, into controlling that market, is much more valuable than anything that Twitch could ever make them, really. If Twitch makes them $5 million, but it loses that, it's probably not worth it to Amazon. So all Amazon needs to do is make sure that Twitch is doing its job where it needs to be.